Our first halftime guest this evening is Dr. Joseph Koppel, who is Hospitality Management Program Coordinator. That is a new program here at USF, Hospitality Management. What is it?
First of all, Gary, it helps serve the industries of food, beverage, lodging, and tourism, and it prepares students for managerial careers within those important industries here in the Bay Area.
I know that there's a great hotel management program at where? Cornell?
Yes, the Cornell and the Michigan State were the original two schools in the East back some 50 years ago. We are now going to bring an outstanding program of that fine vintage here to the Bay Area.
Does this differ from those at all?
It does differ from those in as far as we have undergraduate accredited business program of which our program is a part, and that's a very important factor, we think, in our program.
I know the program is brand new. In fact, it was approved only last June. Has there been much enthusiasm for it?
We've had a great deal of enthusiasm by students, but also by the industry itself. Key people like Richard Swig of the Fairmont Hotel, Bob Begley of the convention facilities, Elliot Fine of Paul Mason. They recently contributed our largest single donation to our development fund of $10,000. So it's been very enthusiastic support by the industry.
Food, beverage, and lodging are three of my favorite things. Maybe I could audit the class, huh?
We would love to see you. We'd love to see you. It is a very important, not only this law, but also it's the largest industry in the city, the largest industry in the state, so it's very important to this area for us to offer this kind of a program.
Well, thank you very much, and I wish you good luck in the program. I know we've had lunch together on at least one occasion, and if anybody's qualified to coordinate the program, you are. Thank you once again. Our first guest, Dr. Joseph Koppel, who is Hospitality Management Program Coordinator here at USF. Dan Belwamany will be back with an all-time USF great right after this.
You're going to put 35 pizzas in the back of a truck in the rain? Nope. Inside my Datsun King cab.
The roomy, rugged Datsun King cab. It's the only compact pickup with over 9 cubic feet of space behind the seats.
You'll love the anchovies.
Datsun King cab, the pickup with a trunk inside.
I dig 100-foot well for a buddy. And what do I get? Light beer. You ever taste light beer?
You ever taste Coors Light?
You ever taste beer, what?
The surprising taste of Coors Light
Not bad.
comes from pure Rocky Mountain spring water and high country barley.
Good beer.
And a way of brewing that squeezes a lot of the calories out but leaves all the taste in.
All right, I'm surprised.
Coors Light, the surprise is how good it tastes.
There's a place in Las Vegas, and you know this place has it all.
Hey, Southern California, how about a Marina Fantasy? For only $15.95 per person, double occupancy Sunday through Thursday, you get 2 days and 1 night, prime rib dinners, a casino lounge show, even a complimentary beverage. The Marina Hotel and Casino on the Las Vegas Strip. Come, have a fantasy.
There's a place in Las Vegas, the Marina Hotel.
Do you need a tuxedo? Do you go out and rent a tuxedo and pay $45, $50 for a tuxedo that's maybe been dry cleaned 20 times, 20 different people have worn it, and it really doesn't fit you? It wasn't made for you. It was made for 20 different people. If you want a tuxedo and you want to save money, then Zachary Hall's the place to come, because we've got them on sale right now at $99. We were selling them at $135, and we sell hundreds of them because the price is right and the value is right. Come down and see us tomorrow.
USF has certainly had a lot of great players in its history. It's been a rich tradition. And standing with me at halftime is Ollie Johnson. And Ollie played here in 1963, 1964, and 1965, and is coming back for a reunion. And I know I played with Ollie during those years, and he was an all-league player for 3 years and one of USF's first All-Americans. And first, Ollie, welcome back home.
Thank you, Dan. It's a pleasure to be back always.
Now, for a lot of people who do not know Ollie, what have you been doing in all those years? Where are you living, and yeah, how things been going?
It's been going pretty good. I've been relatively happy in life, I would say. Since I left USF, I played ball in Europe for 4 years. I recycled back. I say recycled back to my hometown of Washington, D.C., where I worked for a food chain there, Giant Food in Landover, Maryland, personnel.
Well, that's good. Ollie, certainly if you remember back, you know, the Bill Russell turned the USF program around in 1956, and then USF went into a couple of years during 56 to 60 where things were not going maybe, you know, the way they wanted them to. You migrated out here from Washington, D.C. Pete Paletta recruited you. Maybe your experiences here in San Francisco, and you certainly turned around the program during those years.
Well, I think one of the reasons was we had a lot of good guys, including yourself, Dan. And at that time, I think they were pretty heavy into recruiting. We had more than myself, Lord Moffett from back east, and a few other people. But at any rate, I thought we had excellent talent at that time.
Could you still go out and play now?
I guess I would like to think so, but realistically, no.
Do you see a lot of differences, Ollie? I know you've been pretty active with USF and down through the years. Do you see a lot of differences in the play of players now than when you played back in '64?
Well, I think there's a difference as far as the skills. I think players, it's a year-round game now. Probably when you and I came along, maybe I played all year, but as a rule, players just play during the season. Now, they bone their skills year-round, and they're coming up. And I think television has a lot to do with that because the players today, you can see, like USF was on national TV twice. I saw them back east, whereas that wasn't during our day, that was not the case. And I think they can emulate a lot of players where before they couldn't. So I think players are putting more into it today. They're getting more out of it.
Ollie, thanks a lot for coming and talking to us at halftime. It was nice seeing you, and you're always welcome back here.
Thank you, Dan. It's a pleasure. Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you very much, Ollie.
Thanks.
Okay. And we'll be back with the halftime statistics right after this.
I pitch a hot no-hitter, and they try to cool me off with light beer. You ever taste light beer?
This is Coors Light. The surprising taste of Coors Light comes from pure Rocky Mountain spring water and high country barley.
Hold on.
And a way of brewing that squeezes a lot of the calories out.
It's good.
But leaves all the taste in.
You surprised me. Oh, we did?
Coors Light, the surprise is how good it tastes.
Why take a chance on that investment?
Oh, it was Charlie's idea.
It's young. Young people don't think about security.
Yeah, well, I do. I've always kept money in home savings.
Yeah, you do all right.
Sure I do. I know my savings will always be there.
Exactly.
Yeah, but Charlie says I can make more.
Or you could also lose. Yeah. Do any of us have the time to earn it all again?
You can earn high interest without risk at home savings. Your savings are insured and backed for the safety and security of America's largest savings and loan.
Gemco led the way with savings on the Atari home video system. And now, Gemco offers new low prices on Atari games. Choose from a wide selection of games like Home Run and Street Racer. Your choice, just $9.97. Air Sea Battle and many other challenging Atari games are yours for only $19.97. Blast your way through space with Asteroids. Membership priced at just $29.97. For big savings on Atari, it's Gemco, where our aim is to give our members the lowest prices.
You may not see the quality brand foods arriving at Spires, but you can sure taste them. In all the great dishes, we cook up to perfection and serve with a friendly smile at a friendly price. Like our Monday dinner special, half a golden brown fried chicken, served with soup, salad, potato, and dessert, $2.95. Spires, making good food easy to find.
Gary Park along with Dan Belwomany here at Memorial Gym at USF. There is Eric Slaymaker of the Dons. USF leads 51-45 at halftime. And there you see the stats. Dan, the Dons have gotten up 9 more shots. And even though Pepperdine has shot 62% on some great inside and outside shooting, USF still with 1 more field goal.
Well, the reason why, Gary, too, is that Pepperdine has shot the ball well. But if you take a look at the rebounds, USF has more rebounds, and Pepperdine has turned the ball over 7 times to USF 3. Now, 7 times is not a lot of times. What you want to do is try to keep under 12 for the game. But 3 is a very low number in the first half, and that's why Pepperdine's got their work cut out for them.
Some of the individual statistics, there you see Quintin Dailey with 20 points on 8 for 14 from the floor, 4 of 5 from the line. Kenny McAllister is 5 for 9 from the floor, 1 for 2 from the free throw line. Boot Bond has been lighting it up, 7 for 10 from the floor, most of those from the outside with 14 points. And Orlando Phillips, 3 of 4 from the floor, but he is 5 of 9 from the free throw line, and he has 11 points. As far as rebounding goes, Hegwood leads USF with 6. Phillips has 6 to face Pepperdine. Victor Anger has 5. John Martins has 4 for USF. The big story, Wallace Bryant playing only 8 minutes, 1 for 4 from the floor. He has just 2 points and 2 rebounds. We'll be back with the second half right after this.
I'm sorry I'm late.
That's okay.
Guess what I just did?
Not until I tell you what I did.
Well?
I got one of those tax-free accounts.
Oh, me too. Did you get a checking account?
Yeah.
That pays interest?
No.
Look, I even got a free gift.
Oh.
I've already found out more ways to save on my taxes.
Oh, that's nice.
What'd you get?
Waiter, we'll order now.
Home Savings tax-free package is different. Not just a checking account, but free interest-earning checking. And not just a gift, but a truly helpful book. So, open your tax-free account at Home Savings and Loan.
At the Jack Nicklaus house, a Uniden extendophone replaces old-fashioned extension phone.
Barb wants to say goodbye.
Bye, Mom. Hold on. The kids want to say goodbye.
The extendophone. It has no cord, so you can take it with you. Carry it anywhere, in or around the house, and you can place or receive calls from anywhere in the world. The Uniden extendophone.
It goes with the conversation. Bye, Mom.
There is John Hegwood, the Don's top rebounder. In addition, he's 2 of 5 from the floor, 4 of 4 from the line. Hegwood with 6 rebounds and 8 points.
Here we're going to get a chance to see John in action, and he'll rebound a missed shot here. And this is one of John's acrobatic triple pumpers, which he hits off the glass, and that's John's strength. He's very good around the basket. He's very quick to the offensive boards.
Actually, I thought that was pretty tame for John. He only, yeah, he did pump a couple of times, but he actually shot the ball from the same side of the basket from which he went up.
Yeah, right. He's always good for one of those twirls that he spins and goes under the basket, but John certainly is a fine basketball player and has had a great career here at USF.
John's up by 6 points, 51-45. We talked about Bond's great shooting from the floor tonight. Dane Suttle is 5 of 8. We showed you the stat. Pepperdine is hitting 62.1% from the floor on 18 of 29. Loyola Pepperdine 9 of 15 from the free throw line. The Dons 19 of 38 and even 15%. 13 of 16 from the line.
What happened, Gary, too, is that Pepperdine's never been in a position in this basketball game to gain control. They've always fought from behind. Orlando Phillips, if you remember, missed some critical free throws early, some one-on-ones that could have put Pepperdine in a better position. And I really think that Pepperdine needs to get in a position where they can control the tempo of the game. And the only way you can do that is get ahead. So they've been in a catch-up role the first half.
Does it seem to you that Pepperdine, with a virtual lock on the WCAC title, is perhaps playing with less emotion, less intensity tonight than you might have expected?
No, I don't think so. I think that this is a pride game for Pepperdine, too. Winning at USF is no easy task, and they realize that. And they're coming out here, and they want to go undefeated in conference play because not many teams in this conference down through the 26 years or 27 years of its history have ever done it. And if you reflect back, the only teams to do it were the USF teams and possibly one Santa Clara team earlier. And I'd have to go back on the records, Gary, to double-check that. But as we said earlier, it's no easy task to go undefeated.
One change in the lineup for Pepperdine, a change from that lineup which started the game. Scott McCollum is in at center. Victor Anger started the game. So we have Suttle and Bond at the guards, McCollum at center, Bill Sadler and Orlando Phillips up front. Again, to reacquaint you with the players and the numbers, 25 is Boot Bond. On the left side, Orlando Phillips, who is number 34. 42 is Scott McCollum. 54 is Sadler, and 14 is Suttle.
Now, what Pepperdine has to do now, Gary, is recognize the defense. USF's back in their zone in a little matchup, and let's get a good shot to start the game.
Good open shot by Boot Bond, and it's 51-47. USF led once by 11.
It's very
16 points for Bond.
Excuse me, Gary, but it's very important for teams to recognize the defense that the opposition is playing, set it up, and then run your plays effectively. Don't be confused while you're playing out there.
Martin shoots over the Pepperdine zone, and he hits. Martin's just 1 for 3 in the first half from the floor. He now has 7 points. USF up by 6 again, 53-47. Sadler, turnaround jumper from the lane, no good. Rebound by McAllister. Pressure in the backcourt, but Kenny comes out with the ball. Quickly up court. And that will bring it back out. Wallace Bryant with 3 fouls. He's back in the game. Sadler and Anger have 3 fouls apiece for Pepperdine. Waves sagging back in that zone. McCallister was able to shoot over it successfully in the first half. He was 5 of 8. And he does this time. A 15-footer. 55-47. USF by 8.
USF displayed good patience that time. They came down and passed the ball 5 or 6 times, and McCallister took a very good percentage shot, and that's the way you attack zones.
13 points now for the pride of Oakland High. Moving the ball very well inside to Phillips. Bank shot. Wallace Bryant playing with 3 fouls had to give him a little room, and that's all Phillips needed.
And that's a good coaching technique by Jim Harrick. I'm sure he instructed those players to let's go inside and see if we can pick up that 4th foul.
Pepperdine moving the ball very, very well against the zone. Phillips now with 13. Dons will inbound. This is Martins with the ball.
There's Jim Harrick. We take a look at him here. As we said, he's very content.
Bryant, the jumper from just outside the free throw line. No good. Sadler runs it down in the corner, but unable to keep it in bounds. And again, USF will throw it in. Back out on top to McCallister. Bryant just 1 of 5 from the field tonight. McCallister walked. Kenny with the fake, slid the foot. First turnover of this half. And the Waves will inbound.
And only the 4th of the game for USF.
Dons have done a great job tonight taking care of the basketball. USF back in that 2-3 zone now. Looks a little different with Bryant in the middle. This is Phillips inside. Bryant rolls over and off, and Hedgewood rebound. Leading the break, right side of McCallister. Pull-up jumper from 12, no good. Dailey, the rebound. Easy.
Great offensive rebound by Quintin Dailey. Orlando Phillips had a very easy basket and expected some pressure. Nobody pressured him, and he just missed the basket, and he's going to have to put those away.
22 for Quintin Dailey. McCollum handling the ball outside. Sadler spins to the hoop, leaves it for Phillips. Nothing to it. Good movement against the zone.
And a great pass there. Sadler made a super pass over his head to Orlando Phillips, who laid it in. Pepperdine just has to stop USF. They have not been able to stop them 2 or 3 times consecutively in order to come down and score. USF has always scored every time Pepperdine has.
Precisely. Neither team capable of stopping the other. Pepperdine is moving the ball very well against the zone. Bryant, turnaround jumper, got it, and a foul ball.
The big
foul is on number 54, Bill Sadler.
The big fella, he needed that basket, Gary. He's been only 1 for 5, and here you see the ball going inside. Wallace faces up and drills the 10-foot jumper and is fouled on the play. And if anybody needed a basket to get himself going, Wallace certainly was in that position.
Sadler just got a piece of it, but that is his 4th foul, and he sits down. Victor Anger is back in for Pepperdine. No matter, no good. We've got a lane violation. Or we've got a foul?
No, we have a lane
violation on Kenny McCallister. 59-51. The Dons failed to convert the 3-point play, but Bryant's bucket puts him back up by 8. McCollum, wide open shot, passed it up at first and then took it. Somebody missed his man.
That was just like his previous shot. No one was guarding him again, and Scott McCollum could shoot the ball on the perimeter.
He has 4. Dons lead is 6 once again. 16 and a half minutes remaining in the game. Martins fakes. Suttle keeps his feet. Back out on top to McCallister. This time he shoots over Suttle. Front rim no good. Rebound McCollum. And Pepperdine can pull within 4. Quickly, Bond to Suttle. Martin stays down. Right side to Bond. Left side McCollum. Wide open in the corner. Bryant late getting there. Missed the shot. Front rim. Martin's rebound. Dailey leading the break. Good bounce pass to Hegwood. Jukes his man. Goes in. Takes it in. With a great move to get by Boot Bond.
Well, John's a super open court player. He made an acrobatic shot there in the open court. Pepperdine has to go inside. Let's give the ball to Phillips or inside to Anger and see if they can score it.
Anger, bank shot, doesn't go. And again, the Dons come away with it. This is McCallister leading a 2-on-2 break. Pull-up jumper from the foul line. Got it. USF leads by 10. McCallister now with 15, and the Waves want a timeout. This game threatens to get away from them with 15:37 remaining in the game. USF up by 10, 63-53.
I'm sorry, I don't have any money.
And you're driving a Datsun 200 SX?
Oh, well, I bought it for the mileage.
Come on. High-performance, fuel-injected engine, power styling.
Parking brake is on.
Localized warning system, place for coins. This one's on me.
The Datsun 200 SX. It only looks expensive. Some men never ride with the pack. Now, for them, there is the Nighthawk. A motorcycle so different, it looks like you own the only one.
Looks like Jake's going home.
I don't think so.
Jake lives that way. The Nighthawk by Honda.
USF has just one game remaining after tonight. That's next Thursday, the traditional game against the University of Santa Clara. And we will televise beginning at 8 o'clock. If you saw the last USF Santa Clara game, or for that matter, even if you didn't, if you heard or read about it, you will not want to miss that one. Dons up by 10, 15 and a half minutes remaining in the game. Left side, McCollum passes up the shot. Martins may have committed a foul. It wasn't called. Leaves it for Phillips, who finger rolls it in. Orlando now with 17. Martins on the right side. Dailey almost walked. Martins open jumper. No. Tip by McAllister doesn't go, and Phillips comes away with a rebound.
You have to say that was a great timeout for Pepperdine, except they turned the ball over. The timeout was effective. Pepperdine came down and made some great interior passes, scored, got a miss, and then turned the ball over in the open court.
Pepperdine's first turnover of the half, the 8th by the Waves in the game, and the Dons will inbound, a chance once again to go up by 10.
Jim Harrick not happy with that because that was an unforced turnover there, Gary. He just mishandled the ball.
Dailey working on McCollum, shoots over him, air ball. Bryant is right there and gets it. No basket.
That was a great offensive rebound by Wallace Bryant, but he was fouled prior to the shot by number 52, Victor Anger, and USF will get the ball out of bounds underneath the basket.
Anger now with 4 fouls. He is replaced by, I beg your pardon, it's Boot Bond being replaced by Marc Wilson, and Anger is replaced by Sadler. That was a good play by Bryant, but the Dons don't get the bucket because the foul came before the shot. And I was going to ask, did Dailey get an assist because he shot an air ball right to Wallace.
Yeah, you tend to forget that when that big center grabs it and puts the ball back in.
Booker over the zone from 18, around and off, rebound by Orlando Phillips. Dailey knocked it away, but Phillips got it back. And Marc Wilson will bring it up. USF will drop back into that 2-1-2 zone. Dons lead by 8. Inside to Phillips, all alone.
And they make it look easy, don't they? That was a great pass from the high post to the low post, and that's how you get the ball inside. Pepperdine doing an excellent job of interior passing when they're behind in the game. They're not impatient.
Dailey with the jumper, got it. 19 points now for Phillips and 24 for Quintin Dailey. They are leading their respective teams in scoring. 65-57 USF. In the middle. McCollum shoots, got it. McCollum, good outside shooter. Pepperdine can just kill you. They have great outside shooters, and Phillips is so strong inside. They are tough to defense, and again, neither team has done a great job of defensing the other. There's a turnover. Sadler comes away with it, and this is Dane Suttle. He'll shoot the jumper. No good. McCollum there for the rebound. Foul by Martins, but nothing called. John caught him with the body. Inside, spin move by Sadler. Blocked by Bryant, and it'll be out of bounds off Dailey.
Well, Pepperdine comes at you in a lot of different ways, and you get the impression that USF should be ahead by 10 or 12, and they're not. They're only up 6. Here you see the play inside. A good spin move that's blocked by Bryant, and the ball goes off Dailey, but Pepperdine scores inside.
Beautiful move by number 14, Dane Suttle. He now has 16. Pepperdine is the kind of club, I think, that could go a long way in the NC2A. They have such marvelous balance, and they can come at you, as Dan said, so many ways. Down by 4, but they're playing at USF. They beat the Dons badly down in Malibu. Bryant gets it inside. Phillips tried to front him, but they were able to get the ball over Orlando. And Wallace had an easy bank shot. 6 points now for Bryant.
That was a beautiful pass by Eric Booker. He saw the open man and hit him. Again inside.
And we're going to get a foul call. Is it on Bryant?
They're going to get the foul is going to be called. The basket will count, but it'll be on Orlando Phillips.
Right. Basket counts. He is called for the foul on Phillips. That is number 3. Second team foul on Pepperdine. And the Waves trail by 4. 21 points now for Phillips. What a great night he's having. He, Suttle, and Bond carrying Pepperdine in the scoring.
And as you said, Gary, they just about have all year.
McAllister banks it in. Kenny, deadly from the outside tonight. 17 points for Kenny Mack. Phillips inside has it knocked away by Booker. He leads a 3-on-1 break. This is Dailey. Great move, misses. The tip by Booker doesn't go. And we have an interference call. Peter Berry is fit to be tied. An offensive interference call.
Well, you'll get an opportunity to look at. First of all, Dailey might have been able to give the ball up, but didn't. And here you see Booker a little bit below the rim. You have to have your hand in the cylinder. And that was a judgment call by the official, and he felt that Eric Booker interfered with the ball. So it'll be a violation, and they're not calling it. Maybe they are calling it technical.
I thought it was a lot below the rim.
Well, they may be calling
it Pete Berry.
I think the technical may be on the bench. I don't know if the technical's on the play, Gary. Yeah, it's going to be on the bench. Somebody probably said something because that play doesn't deserve a technical.
No. Plays on the bench because it's a 2-shot technical.
This could be a 6-point turnaround. USF could have had the basket. Instead, they're giving Pepperdine a chance to score 2 and then get the ball out of bounds at half court and score again.
Dailey just shot the ball too hard.
Well, I thought he might have been able to give the ball up in the open court to Booker, and he didn't. He passed it up and thought he had it by himself. And it resulted in not a good turnaround for USF.
Suttle makes both free throws with 11:58 remaining in the game. The Waves have once again pulled it within 4. USF's lead 69-65.
Taste the high country.
I guess most people think we're a little crazy to do this job.
Taste the high country.
Trick is to think fast and move slow.
Taste Coors.
But I'll tell you, this is right where I want to be.
There's only one high country and only one beer brewed up here. Coors with pure Rocky Mountain spring water. Fresh taste that satisfies every day.
Good friends and good beer. Not bad.
Taste Coors.
You'll never miss him, Jeanette.
Jeanette? Phil! What are you doing here? Bernie said you joined the Army.
The Army Reserve, Jeanette. It's here in town. What else did Bernie tell you?
That he'd take care of me while you were away.
I was just trying to help out.
So you'll still be around?
Sure. It's only one weekend a month and only go away for part of the summer. I'll be making some extra money, planning for the future, and learning about microelectronics.
Be all that you can be in the Army Reserve.
Pepperdine with the ball now following the conversion of the 2 technical foul shots. And Pepperdine with a chance to move to within 2 now, which would be as close as they've been since very early in the game. McCollum gets it and he's fouled. And now the Waves can move to within 1. McCollum hit the jumper, his 8th point of the night, and a foul call on Kenny McAllister.
Well, it wasn't a 6-point play. It could be a 7-point play. Here Scott McCollum hits the jumper, fouled by McAllister, and instead of USF scoring 2 points, Pepperdine has a chance to score 5.
You're right. This could be exactly a 7-point play,
and that's what it is. There's a 7-point turnaround.
You look at this later on. Look at this later on, with 11:58 remaining in the game. That's when it all happened. USF could well be up by 8. Instead, they're up by 1. 69-68. Give Pepperdine credit. Turnover as Eric Booker throws the ball away. 4th turnover for USF. Already the Dons have exceeded their turnover total for the entire first half, when they had only 3.
Well, Pepperdine right now, Gary, should run their plays, get the ball inside, because Orlando Phillips is scoring at will when they get the ball in around the basket. Here's an outside jumper.
Done it! And Pepperdine has taken a lead at 70-69.
Good call, Dan.
That is the first lead by Pepperdine since the first 2 minutes of the ball game when they led 6-5. And Phillips comes away with a rebound. USF appears to have lost his poise. Pepperdine again has a lot to do with that. Down the middle, this is off for Wilson. Jumper, got it! And Pepperdine leads 72-69.
USF needs a timeout. Call a timeout right now. Let's get this thing back together again.
That is exactly what USF has done, as they are seeing this ball game get away from them. With 10:48 remaining, USF now trails Pepperdine 72-69.
That's a terrific car.
You want it? It's yours. Cheap.
Cheap? They don't make them like that anymore.
I know, but a beauty like that deserves leaded premium gas. That's hard to find these days.
I can find it.
Where?
Right there.
Union 76 still has leaded premium?
Union 76 Super, one of the best leaded premiums around. Now, still want to sell that car cheap?
Cheap? They don't make them like this anymore.
Go with the spirit.
Where you could still get leaded premium.
The spirit of 76.
Everywhere you turn, there's something on sale at Builder's Emporium. 99 cents each is all you pay for Armstrong Solarium floor tiles. 12 by 12. They keep their sunny shine longer without buffing or waxing. $8.99 a gallon buys Builder's Emporium's 4-way interior flat latex wall paint. One coat does it all. Only $14.99 gets you a Peerless 2-handle washerless lavatory faucet. A low $14.99. At Builder's Emporium, we make the cost of living cost less.
Everywhere you turn.
Promotional considerations provided by the well-known San Francisco gathering place, the Washington Square Bar and Grill, owned and operated by Ed Moose, and Sam Deach, famous for its superb Italian cuisine and friendly bar. The Washington Square Bar and Grill, the corner of Powell and Union in North Beach. Great place. Quintin Dailey hit. He now has 26. USF pulls him within 1. Bar and Grill is a great place for the great, the near great,
for everybody.
and even the not very good.
That's right, for everybody.
As a matter of fact, when we finish here, we'll all be down there for a big dish of those promotional considerations, right? I want mine sauteed.
Right.
Jumper by McCollum. He is red hot. And again, Pepperdine goes up by 3. Steal by Suttle, and he scores. Pepperdine's biggest lead of the night, 76-71, with 10 minutes remaining in the game.
USF making careless mistakes now, not throwing the inbound pass in right. And they've got to get themselves back together because Pepperdine may run and hide.
Stolen again, but Suttle unable to chase it down, and USF will retain possession. Suttle red hot with 18 points. Pepperdine appearing tonight like a finely tuned thoroughbred, trailing throughout most of the race and coming roaring down the stretch, playing great basketball.
Pepperdine has certainly peaked at the right time of the year, just before the NCAA tournament, because they got off to a slow start, Gary, and they just come on like gangbusters down the stretch. And this is going to be another dunk right here.
Take by Martin.
Take a look at it.
And Pepperdine struggling to break this one open. 78-71. The Waves by 7. Orlando Phillips with a dunk. And Orlando now has 23. Pepperdine, the Silky Sullivan of college basketball tonight. Foul inside on USF.
Well, the difference in the game in the second half when Pepperdine made its run, obviously the missed shot by Dailey that went to a 7-point play really hurt USF. They lost their momentum, but Pepperdine's only allowing USF one shot at the basket. When they get the basketball off the boards, they're converting their breaks. And, Gary, they haven't missed any shots. I mean, they're getting great shots when they come down, and they're putting everyone home.
4 fouls now on Wallace Bryant. That's a miss, but we've got a foul inside, and this one is going to be on Pepperdine.
And that's the first one in a long time.
Wallace Bryant, the USF center, who played only 8 minutes in the first half, has picked up his 4th foul. And that is 4 fouls on Orlando Phillips. And thus far, Pepperdine could less afford to lose Phillips than the Dons' Wallace Bryant. USF played very well without Wallace in the first half. Phillips is a very important cog in the Pepperdine machine.
Absolutely.
Phillips will sit down. Bryant is still in the game for USF. Dons trail by 7, 9-10 remaining in the game. And this could be the end of the Dons' NCAA playoff aspirations if they should lose tonight. Dailey, baseline jumper, got it. Quintin may just take over the game now for USF. He has 28.
Well, the best players usually do take the game over in the last 10 minutes of a game. But the problem is Pepperdine's got about 3 or 4 of them that can take the game over, where USF has 1.
Pepperdine with Boot Bond and Marc Wilson at the guard positions. McCollum setting a high post. Hanger and Sadler down low. Running the Dons through a series of picks. USF in a man-to-man now. This is Boot Bond shooting over Dailey, and he got it. Boot Bond is lighting it up. He now has 18. And again, Pepperdine leads by 7. They're getting great shots. Hegwood, the high arching shot in the corner, no good. USF not getting back. Martin's the only man back, and he fouls McCollum on the break. Dons doing a terrible job on the transition, just not getting back on defense.
Well, they're coming down, Gary, and shooting hurried jumpers, and Pepperdine just coming down in waves. As we said before, they have 4-on-1, and they're going to go ahead and take the ball in and score it every time down. You got to have somebody back on defense when you shoot the corner jumpers, because if the long rebounds come out, the other team will have great transition baskets on you.
McCollum has had a great second half. He'll be at the line for 2 shots. Third team foul on the Dons. Got the first.
And Pepperdine in a great position now to control the tempo of the game in the last 6 minutes, spread the court out, use their great guards to their advantage. And on the line tonight is a 29-game home winning streak that USF has had. And that looks in real jeopardy right now because Pepperdine's opened up a 9-point lead with 8 minutes to go.
Biggest lead, and McCollum has had a whole lot to do with that. He has 10 of his 12 points in the second half. Dailey has it knocked away. So we're going to get a foul call on number 4, Marc Wilson. That is only the second foul on Wilson. 5th team foul on Pepperdine. 8 minutes remaining in the game. USF down by 9. John Martins will inbound. I would think if USF loses 3 games in conference play, 2 to Pepperdine, 1 to Santa Clara, and they have to play the Broncos again, I would think that even with a good record, they could conceivably be passed up by the NC2A. Boot Bond, the jumper, got it. And Pepperdine up by 11. 20 points for Boot Bond. And we're going to have another timeout. Peter Berry is going to have to do something as USF trails by 11. With 7:43 remaining, Pepperdine leads it 84-73.
Past 70 miles, all I've been thinking of is beer, beer, beer. What do I get? Light. You drink it.
I will.
It's Coors Light. All right.
The surprising taste of Coors Light comes from pure Rocky Mountain spring water and high country barley.
Hey.
And a way of brewing that squeezes a lot of the calories out.
It's good.
But leaves all the taste in.
I'm surprised.
Coors Light. The surprise is how good it tastes.
My Datsun 210 wagon is amazing. Sometimes I think it's this big.
With reclining buckets, split fold-down rear seats, and nearly 50 cubic feet.
Huge! But sometimes I think it's this big. Over 380 economical miles on one little tankful. And the price is this big.
The Datsun 210 may be the biggest little bargain in wagons.
Datsun, we are driven.
Don't forget, we'll televise next Thursday evening's USF Santa Clara game. The Broncos from Santa Clara will be in here at War Memorial Gym, and that should be good. It'll be a loud one. You think tonight's loud? Join us next Thursday. USF down by 11. Got to do something fast. Bryant stuck. And we've also got a foul call. We said it at the time, and it bears repeating. The turning point was obvious with 11:58 remaining in the game. Here it is again. Bryant just turns in for the stop. Quintin Dailey missed a shot. Eric Booker went for the tip. Was called for offensive interference. The Dons bench erupted. A technical was called on USF. McCollum, the Dane Suttle converted to 2 free throws, and then the Waves inbounded, and McCollum converted a 3-point play. So instead of USF leading by 8, they led by, actually Pepperdine went up by 1, and it was a 7-point turnaround. And since then, Pepperdine has played brilliantly. USF has not taken good shots, has not gotten back on defense, has done nothing to disrupt Pepperdine's great passing game, and the Dons trail by 9.
That about sums it up. You got it.
Orlando Phillips out on top to Marc Wilson, the ball handler. Penetrates inside to Sadler, and back out on top to Bond. They're in no hurry. Sadler passes up the baseline jumper. Out on top to Wilson. Pepperdine passing the ball brilliantly.
And they may end up with
on
a
the wing
layup.
to McCollum.
What they want to do, Gary, is open the basket area and see if they can cut somebody underneath for an easy basket.
Lob, bad lob. It was too high, and Phillips was unable to guide it in. USF with a chance to move to within 7. This is Dailey. Just inside the foul line. Banks it in. Quintin now with 30. 20 in the first half, 10 in the second. 84-77. Waves lead by 7. 6.5 minutes remaining in the game.
And now, Gary, the roles are reversed. Pepperdine's going to have to take care of the basketball and take very good shots at the spread court game. USF's going to have to go out and take some chances and see if they can disrupt Pepperdine and get some turnovers. So right now, we'll see how well Pepperdine handles the spread court game.
And we have got a 5-second call. Penetration not made. That's a turnover.
And that's a second straight turnover, which Pepperdine cannot afford to have. They have not had shots at the basket in their last 2 times down.
Pepperdine was talking to Scott McCollum, wondering why he did not come out to pick up the pass and penetrate against the Dons defense. That is a very important turnover, could be at least. The Dons can cut it to 5. We have a timeout. We're going to keep it right here. 84-77. USF down by 7 with 6:19 remaining in the game.
It's amazing, Gary, how teams play when they're behind. USF is playing now a little bit better than when they've gotten behind. They've caused 2 turnovers. Pepperdine played very well, you can say, throughout the whole ball game until they finally took the lead. And that's not very many turnovers. I'm sure those are second half turnovers right there because the first half, Pepperdine, I think, had 7 or 8 turnovers in the first half.
That was only about a 5.5 minute span, Dan, and the Dons saw a 6-point lead go to eventually an 11-point deficit. That is probably the worst 5.5 minutes they have played this year.
And probably the best 5.5 minutes Pepperdine has played this year. And I really think that Pepperdine may decide to go ahead and go to the basket because they're so effective in the open court. They can rebound, they can shoot it, that maybe Jim Harrick's afraid that he's changing the momentum too much and his team might get a little panicky and turn the ball over. So we'll see what Pepperdine does the next time down the floor.
Of course, that is one of the givens in basketball. It depends upon whose ox is being gored. If you think USF played poorly or Pepperdine played great, I guess it depends on for which team you're rooting. It was quite a bit of both, I think. Don's moving the ball against the zone, unable to get the good shot. Martin's from 14, no good. Back rim, and a big rebound by Boot Bond, but he's going to be called for traveling. A questionable call, I would think.
Well, Boot went for the rebound and might have been hit a little bit in the air. Here you see John Martin shooting a 24-foot jumper that was long, and Boot Bond got the ball, and the referee said he shuffled his feet.
Bryant turnaround bank shot, no good. McCollum the rebound, has it knocked away, but Boot Bond on the floor gets it. McCollum triple teamed in the backcourt and draws the foul. They're going to have a blocking foul on John Hegwood. 3rd foul on Hegwood. Run down the foul situation. McAllister has 3. Martins has 3. Hegwood has 3. Bryant has 4. For Pepperdine, Phillips has 4. Anger has fouled out. Bill Sadler has 3. That was only the 4th team foul on USF. Don staying out of team foul trouble.
Well, they've got a few fouls to take, Gary, and they have to come out and pressure a little bit. Maybe they can force a turnover. And if they make a foul, they make a foul, and Pepperdine gets the ball out of bounds.
But don't foul senselessly. If you have, they have 2 to use. Go for the steal. Pepperdine in no hurry. 5:20 remaining in the game. USF trails by 7. Pepperdine has already clinched at least a tie for the WCAC title. A victory tonight will give them the title outright, regardless of what happens against Loyola. But I don't think there's a person in the country who would give Loyola a chance against Pepperdine.
No, that's absolutely true. Loyola does not have the overall strength in order to play with Pepperdine.
Loyola losing by 23 last night to USF, which played without Quintin Dailey. Pepperdine does a great job taking care of the basketball. That time, though, Dailey knocks it away. Martin's back to Dailey. Well, I just said that, and they lose it. Hegwood, sloppy pass, trying to get the ball inside the Bryant. Pepperdine steals it ahead to Phillips. Gets Dailey in the air. Quintin fouls him intentionally to prevent the basket. Orlando fake Quintin out of his knickers that time, but Quintin fouled on the way down. That's not a bad foul.
Well, as long as you don't hurt the player, and Quintin tried to grab him in order to keep Orlando from falling down, and he's going to make him go to the line to make 2 free throws. John Hegwood just returned a favor on that last sequence down the court, and he turned the ball over right back to Pepperdine.
Misses the front end, but it's a 2-shot foul, of course. He was in the act of shooting. He'll get another. Phillips with 23 points, 6 of 7 from the floor in the second half, having a brilliant night. Back rim, missed them both. So Hegwood's errant pass hasn't hurt. This is Booker. Dons have Booker, Dailey, McAllister, Bryant, and Martins in the game. Hegwood on the bench now. McAllister, 17. Back rim, no good. Soaring rebound by the little guy, Marc Wilson. Good pass to Bond. Drives to the hook, gets it, and a foul on. Who's the foul on? Foul is on Booker. Basket counts.
Pepperdine makes great decisions in the open court. Here you see Boot Bond penetrate the baseline. Good call by the official. The ball goes in. I thought he was fouled. But Pepperdine seems to convert their open court transition baskets. And that's really a pleasure when you're sitting there on that bench coaching a team and you know the ball's in the open court and you're saying to yourself, well, I know we're going to score, but I'm not sure how.
Bond looking for his 23rd point. Doesn't get it. Gets the rebound and converts a 4-point play. So far tonight, Pepperdine has had a 7-point play and a 4-point play. 24 points now for Boot Bond. 11-point lead by Pepperdine, equaling their biggest of the night. McAllister gets the offensive rebound, puts it back up and in. McAllister battling on the offensive boards. 19 points now for Kenny Mack. Dons within 9. Wilson beats the press. Inside to Bond, easy bucket. Beautiful ball movement by Pepperdine. Wilson, a great pass inside to Boot. He now has 26 points. McAllister shoots over the zone. No good. Hit by Dailey. Good. 32 now for Dailey. 90-81. The Dons trail by 9 with 3.5 minutes remaining. Hegwood knocked it away, but Pepperdine gets it back. Out on top to Suttle. Baseline to Bill Sadler, and he was fouled by whom?
I believe the foul is on John Hegwood.
That's his 4th.
Pepperdine doing a great job of penetrating. Here the pass inside. Sadler just takes it straight to the hoop and scores. Once you penetrate a pressing defense and your guard can get into the painted area, you're going to get great shots. And certainly Wilson has handled all of those open court opportunity shots great for Pepperdine.
3-point play. Pepperdine up by 12. Its biggest lead of the night. All right, with 3:29 remaining in the game, Pepperdine leads 93-81. And here's a word from your local station.
Tony, a cook here at the Sizzler,
Eat, Mama, eat.
brought in his Italian mother to taste Sizzler's new Italian-style shrimp scampi.
Buono.
She's taking another succulent shrimp scampi and dipping it in a seasoned Italian sauce. And on the same platter, she gets a juicy steak broiled to order, the Sizzler steak and shrimp scampi. Well, Tony, what's your mama think?
She thinks we don't charge enough.
1/3 of our lives are spent in bed. Why not buy the best? This is an Ortho Factory showroom where you'll find an enormous selection of everything for sleep, produced in the largest mattress factory in the West. Professional craftsmen use great care and top-quality materials to skillfully produce the best possible Ortho product. Our low factory price for this complete set now includes an Ortho Pack, everything you need. Make your best buy in everything for sleep at your Ortho Factory showroom.
Harry Park in Danville, Womany at USF, where Pepperdine is now just 3 minutes and 29 seconds away from clinching the WCAC title, from winning its 13th in a row in the conference without a defeat, and from winning its 20th game of the season. If Pepperdine can hang on to this 12-point lead, the Waves will be 20-6. And I sure have to think about ranking Pepperdine somewhere in the top 20. If it does go on to lose this, they're going to drop out. They were ranked 16th this week by the Associated Press 17 by United Press International. But if they lose, they will have lost to Pepperdine twice this season. Bryant inside, triple teamed, and we got a foul on Dane Suttle. What great guards Pepperdine has.
They have three of them, too.
Suttle. Yeah.
They've got three guards who can really play the game. They play well as a team, and they have very good chemistry, Gary, which I think is very important in any pro basketball, college, high school, wherever you are. Your players have to get along well together, and they have to play well as a unit. And Pepperdine has complementary players. They have the shooters shoot, the rebounders rebound, and they've got very good open court people. You very rarely will see Orlando Phillips shoot a 20-footer because that's not his role. His role is to shoot it around a basket and try to rebound. So all of those factors go into making a very good basketball team, and I think it's been a super basketball game and a great spectator game here tonight.
Wallace Bryant now in double figures with 10. Dons are down by 10 with 3:05 remaining in the game. This is Suttle driving on Dailey. He's in no hurry, brings it back out. Got Wallace Bryant way out high. Eggwood picks up Wilson, overplays him to the right side, and back out on top to Boot Bond.
You may want to take a foul in this situation, especially if Phillips touches the ball. He has not shot the ball well, and I'm sure if Orlando gets his hands on the ball, you may see a USF player just go ahead and foul him and hope you get a miss.
Dons are going to have to foul. They're in a penalty situation. They now have 17 fouls in the second half. So they'll have to give them a 1-and-1, except Pepperdine threw the ball away.
Well, you certainly don't need that if you're Pepperdine. Jim Harrick saying the only way we can lose this game is to go ahead and make a lot of mistakes and let USF come back on us.
Dailey with the outside jumper, got it. USF is not dead yet. USF now within 8 with 2:25 remaining. Dailey with 34 points, a one-man gang for the Dons. Pepperdine has certainly had much more balanced scoring tonight. USF has relied on McAllister and Quintin Dailey, and that's been the offense.
Well, USF's got to think of making some fouls right here.
And they do. Quintin Dailey fouls Marc Wilson. And Wilson will go to the line. That's 4 on Dailey. Dailey, Hegwood, and Bryant all in the game, all with 4 fouls.
Wilson is probably not the person that Pete Berry wanted on the foul. He's an 80+% free throw shooter. That's not the guy I'd want up there, but you never know in these situations.
Wilson looking for his 5th and 6th points of the night. Misses the front end of the 1-and-1, but we're going to have a jump ball called, and it is Pepperdine's turn. So again, the Dons get a break as Wilson, a good free throw shooter, misses the front end of the 1-and-1. Pepperdine able to come down with a rebound, got tied up, but it's their turn on the alternate possession rule. And back out on top, USF's going to have to foul again. Dailey almost picked that one off. Wilson back out on top to Dane Suttle. Triple team now, he'll bring it back out, drives on McAllister. Hegwood hacked at the ball, didn't get it, and back out on top. Doing a great job, they're going to have to foul him. They're doing a great job of eating up the clock. USF has to foul. Suttle will take the shot, and he draws a foul. USF let Pepperdine dribble away about 30 seconds off the clock. USF is down by 8 points. 3rd foul on Booker.
Well, you want to foul, but you don't want to foul if the player's in the act of shooting, because now he's going to the foul line shooting 2 shots. And you try to foul him on the perimeter, Gary, where they have a 1-on-1 opportunity.
Suttle with 18, make it 19. We're going to have a timeout right now, but we are going to keep it here. With 1:35 remaining, Pepperdine leads 94-85, and Dane Suttle will be at the line with yet another free throw. Looking down the scoring thus far for Pepperdine, Bond with 26, Suttle with 19, Phillips with 23. Scott McCollum has 13 points, 11 of those coming in the second half. McCollum did a great job to pick them up.
I think McCollum turned the whole game around for him. He came in, made some outside jumpers, and Pepperdine got consistent play from Phillips and Bond and Suttle and their other guard, yes, Dane Suttle, but they got great play out of Scott McCollum, and he came in and really hit some key shots, Gary. And USF is, from a coaching standpoint, you're never out of the game, and I think with 1 minute and 35 seconds, what they have to do is come down, score quickly, and maybe use some of their timeouts in order to stop the clock after you score. but you must foul immediately. You cannot let too much time elapse. And right now your chances are slim and none of winning the game, but there's still a ray of hope, and you still have to play the game like you have a chance.
I voiced my opinion. What's yours? You certainly know more about the NC2A selection process than I do. If the Dons go on to lose this game, then they would have a record of 23-5 with one game remaining. I beg your pardon, 24-5. If they beat Santa Clara, do you think they would still be invited as an at-large team?
I think so. That's my own personal opinion. Not to take a side of USF, but I think if you win 25 games in the season and come in second place, I think there's 48 teams in the tournament, and there's going to be a lot of teams in there with a lot less wins than that. And it's a question of whether the NCAA Tournament Committee feels USF is justified to be in based in the conference that they're playing in. So I really think they deserve to be in.
Hegwood, the Purvis short jumper goes, and it's 95-87. What if they lose to Santa Clara?
I still think they should be invited, although if they lose to Santa Clara, finishing on with two losing games certainly will not help them, and their chances may be a little diminished, but still you've won 24 and lost 6, and the NCAA Tournament Committee many times goes on the number of games that you win during the season. And USF did play a pretty good schedule. They have played Notre Dame twice, South Carolina on the road.
Well, Notre Dame isn't a whole lot this year.
Oh, that's true, but it's still a tough place to play at. Not to go into an argument with you.
Hegwood is fouled out. This is McAllister. He is replaced, by the way, Hegwood, by Mike Matheson, who is seeing his first action tonight. 1:14 remaining. Kenny McAllister will be at the line for USF. Just one final thought on that, even though I think it's obvious the three strongest teams in the WCAC are Pepperdine, USF, and Santa Clara. The Broncos, even though they have had a lot of injuries this year, you think even though if the Dons lose to Santa Clara, they would have lost both games to the other two strong teams, they still go.
Well, Gary, all I can make my assumption on is what's happened in the past, and I've seen teams in the PCAA and other conferences in the Pac-10 go when they were in fourth place. And so that's what I'm going on.
Dons get it back. McAllister's jumper is no good. Matheson gets it back. Got to put it up in a hurry. 1:05 remaining in the game. Booker back rim, no good. Booker gets it back, and he's no basket. He's got a foul inside. For the basket. No bucket.
In the meantime, back at USF here, USF has closed this to 7, and here you see Eric Booker penetrating to the basket, but he was fouled prior to the shot. He can cut this to 5 with a minute to go, and as we said before, this game's not out of reach. Pepperdine is not yet celebrating.
No. A minute remaining. Booker, the front end of the 1-and-1. Gets it. He'll get another. 95-89. USF can move to within 5. Booker now with 5 points in the game.
At this point of the game, this is where you really rely on your guard play. When you have the great guards who can take care of the basketball, it certainly helps at the end of a ball game.
Got them both. 95-90, a minute exactly remaining. Foul is on Mike Matheson, I believe. Dane Suttle was the foulee. Matheson went over and picked him up. Bill Sadler congratulating Quintin Dailey in the backcourt. Quintin has played a brilliant game tonight. He had 20 points in the first half. He has 14 in the second. He is high for the game with 34, but Pepperdine has had better ball handling, better defense, some good rebounding. This is Dane Suttle, who is 4 for 4 from the line tonight. Got the first. That might do it. Pepperdine now leads by 6. Suttle with 21.
Gary, one further note on the NCAA Tournament Committee, not to extend this thought too far, but I really think that WCAC should get 2 teams in the tournament. Why not? Because the Pac-10 sometimes gets 4, the Big Ten gets 4, the PCAA will get 2 or 3, so why not get 2 if you're in the West Coast?
I was just thinking of last year when Pepperdine was not invited, even though the Waves finished second after a playoff. Dailey banks it in.
But the reason for that was that the playoff happened after the tournament committee
45 seconds remaining. Dons down by 2, full court press. Is on number 25, Eric Booker. Booker apparently is fouled out. Did we have him for 5? We only had him for 4, but he's sitting down, replaced by Slaymaker. Peter Berry apparently is also puzzled about that. He's checking at the scoring table. Or it could be that he wants Slaymaker in as a ball handler. 47 seconds remaining. USF down by 5, 97-92. Marc Wilson is at the line. He has 4 points. The front end of the 1-and-1. The Dons need him to miss. He doesn't. He did his last time, missed the front end of the 1-and-1. But then Pepperdine got the ball back on an offensive rebound. Got them both. Two pressure free throws by Marc Wilson. 99-92, 45 seconds remaining. Slaymaker quickly across midcourt. Takes the 16-footer, no good.
Now
rebound by Wilson. Matheson is all over him. Mike with some good defense, but a foul is going to be called on Matheson. Mike, battling for the ball, went to the floor, but committed a foul in the process. And again, Wilson will be at the line for a 1-and-1.
Well, Gary, I would say right now it doesn't look very good. You're down 7, and Wilson's going to the foul line shooting a 1-on-1, who's an 80+% free throw shooter, and USF had to score every time down. They couldn't afford to miss one opportunity if they were going to pull this game out.
High-scoring game tonight. Pepperdine, if he makes his free throw, he is 4 of 5 from the line, will hit the century mark. And he does, and they do. 192. 38 seconds remaining, and now Pepperdine begins to celebrate. The 1,000 fans up from the Pepperdine campus, the beautiful campus in Malibu. They think they've got this wrapped up, and they think they've got the WCAC title wrapped up. To Dailey, he's got to shoot. Does. Front rim rolls over and in. 101-94. Downs trail by 7. Foul in the backcourt. Matheson or Slaymaker, one of the two. Pepperdine, if they win this, if it wins this, will go 13-0 with pretty much a shoe-in against Loyola next week. Finish undefeated, and as you said, Dan, that is difficult.
That is a tough thing to do in this conference, and in any conference for that matter. But tonight, too, Gary, they're ending USF's 29-game home winning streak. The last time that USF lost a game here, I know I was there, was Santa Clara beat us back in 1980. And it's been a long time, and certainly this is a tough place to win a basketball game if you're a visiting team, so you got to give Pepperdine a lot of credit.
Suttle, the wrong guy to foul. He's now 8 of 8 from the line. 103-94. Dons trailed by 9. 24 seconds. Dailey to the hoop. Has his shot blocked, but a foul is going to be called on Phillips. If it is, he's gone. It is on Phillips. He is gone, but he has played a brilliant game tonight, and he will get a standing ovation from the Pepperdine fans. Let's listen. Phillips fouls out with 23 points. A lot of rebounds.
I was going to say, a ton of rebounds. and tough rebounds. He gets them in traffic when people are bumping him. He just seems to come out with all those rebounds.
Did USF recruit him?
I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think that they were actively recruiting him, but I could be wrong. Gary, I was not involved at that time, but certainly Orlando had high credentials coming out of City College of San Francisco. I believe they were second in the state that year, and certainly he was recruited by a lot of schools.
Quintin Dailey has 40 points. Pepperdine will have the ball with 22 seconds remaining in the game and a 7-point lead.
40 points, a lot of points.
That's a whole lot of points. That equals Quintin's career high, does it not?
Well, I believe so, and as I recall, just right off the top of my head, Gary, 39 may have been the gymnasium record. I know that happened back in 1962, and Bob Gaylord had that record, and I'm not sure anybody has scored more than that from USF since then. I know that Bill Cartwright had 41, but that was over at the Cow Palace against Florida State. So certainly 40 points is a lot of points, and the game's not over. We still have 22 seconds to go, so Quintin conceivably could get another hoop or two.
We need somebody to look that up, don't we? Dailey is 17 of 26 from the field, 6 of 7 from the line. He has it's been a great individual effort on Quintin's part tonight, Dan, and again, with the problems he has faced over the past few months, and especially the problems that have become so monumental just this past week. A brilliant performance tonight by Quintin, but aside from Kenny McAllister, he didn't have a whole lot of help.
That's right. He just he's done it almost by himself, and you can't do it by yourself in this game when you're playing against a quality team, because Pepperdine's shooting 3 and 4 players at you, and when the score is up near 100, you're going to need some help. If this score was in the 60s, then Quintin might be able to do it.
Full court press. But Wilson will get it across the 10-second line without too much trouble. Pulls up, takes, and he's fouled from behind. Slaymaker came flying at Wilson from behind. Wilson didn't know he was there.
Well, I'm surprised Wilson really attempted to shoot that basketball, because what Pepperdine has to do is just run the clock out. They don't need to score any more points. Just bring the ball back out and waste some time. But when you have a 9-point lead, maybe they feel the game's over and let's just go down and have some fun and make a few shots.
Playmaker and Matheson were both there. The foul is called on Matheson. Wilson is 6 of 7 from the line. He has 8 points tonight. They get 9. Pepperdine rolling it up. Bench is ecstatic. The fans are happy. It'll be a great trip back to Southern California for the Waves. And they are a fine basketball team. Misses the second. Matheson rebounds. McAllister quickly up the right side. Pulls up from 12. Got it. 104-98. 7 seconds remaining. Full court press by the Don. 4. A foul is called with 3 seconds remaining. Foul is on Matheson again. Matheson has picked up 3 or 4 of the quickest fouls in the history of college basketball. Now Pepperdine is staging a proper celebration.
Well, and right, they should be. They've done a difficult task. They played great. They played a magnificent second half. Probably Jim Harrick will say it's the best second half they played all year. I don't think they can play much better than they did in the second half, and they deserve to win the game, let's face it.
Pepperdine has scored 58 points thus far in the second half. They get 59. It is 105-98.
There's no substitute for winning, is there, Gary?
10 points for Wilson. As I said, Pepperdine to me is the kind of team that could go far in the NCAA.
Yes, they could, and it depends what seed they get and where they play. They could be playing in Los Angeles.
This is it. Dailey will drive to the hoop. Duffy has 42 points, an all-time USF record.
That's exactly right.
It counts. Pepperdine comes racing onto the floor. The Pepperdine fans, the game is over. Pepperdine now 13-0 in the WCAC. The Waves have won the WCAC. They have beaten USF 2 times this year. And I think I was going to say that after Orlando Phillips got integrated into the Pepperdine scheme of things, Pepperdine has run off 13 consecutive conference wins, clinched the title, and go to the NC2As. They win tonight by a score of 106-100. Dan, final word.
Well, I just think it was a great win for Pepperdine. It was a great spectator game tonight, but Pepperdine deserves to win the conference when you beat USF twice.
Once again, the final score, Pepperdine 106, USF 100. Gary Park for Dan Belwomany. Thanks for joining us. Good night. USF Dons basketball has been brought to you by Datsun, who invites you to see all the exciting Datsun cars and trucks at your Datsun dealer today. And by Coors Light. Coors Light, the surprise is how good it tastes. And by Union 76 and your neighborhood Union 76 dealers who invite you to go with the spirit of 76. And by Home Savings of America. With assets over $15 billion, branches located throughout California, Home is America's #1 savings and loan.